Hey guys, welcome to this live stream. Hello Albin, hello Skids. Flying a Bf109G-6. This is Wings of Liberty. Maximum 84 players. I reckon there's about 50 players on board right now. The other alternative is Tactical Air War. You've got to register to join Tactical Air War though, it's free, but you'll get kicked out of it by the server automatically unless you're registered. And I'm registered, so I can go and play in Tactical Air War, TOR for short. It has 36 players out of 84 at this time. I get the feeling there's a bunch of newbies, like brand new players on this current server here, Wings of Liberty, because I was just at an airfield in a game before this about 15 minutes ago, and it was chock-a-block full of aircraft, and they're all trying to take off, and they're all ground looping. It was crazy. I've been having a pretty bad session actually. I've managed to shoot down maybe 1 or 2 planes, and I keep getting shot down, and it's crazy. In particular, I keep on not doing what I should do to play to the strengths of this aircraft, which is to stay high, use energy, boom and zoom, and stay off the deck basically. And I've been degenerating into turn fights on the deck. It's crazy. These new guys, they don't know anything about aircraft recognition. They can't tell the difference between a 190 and a yak. Where are we going to go? Maybe to the advanced troop. In any case, I should stay high. I should climb higher. The thing is, if I'm so high, then I don't see the action. If I stay at this altitude, I will get shot, see? I know what to do, I just have a hard time making myself do it. I definitely should have climbed higher. Just got jumped by what I think is a yak. Definitely should have climbed higher. I was in the middle of saying I should climb higher or else I'll get shot. And no sooner had I said it and I got shot. So there you go. Again, I know what to do. I just got to make myself be disciplined and stick to the plan. Of course, I was in mid-sentence before I got shot, and here he goes. I wonder if I should... Nah, it's tempting. But I've got a coolant leak. He was breaking off, you see. That looked like a 109. That looked like... Yeah, who knows, right? Who knows? Alright, where's the airfield? Before this engine quits. Still a fair way away. Right, so the plan is I'll try and get another G6, and this time start climbing from the get-go. Where's that airfield? Can you believe this? Lights on. Alright, made it. Haha. Alright, great. So that really just counts as a warm-up. Let's do one flight. This is the one and only flight. Track IR doesn't seem to go so well with the G6. If I try and lean forward to the crosshair, that's what happens. End up looking at the floor. So I am fighting that kind of situation. For instance, if I want to look at where the light is on the wing, I can't move to the left, I can't move to the right. That freaking piece of the canopy is sort of stuck there. Alright, so with those kind of detractors noted, let's go and shoot down some enemies. You can set up your track for different aircraft and save them. Yeah, I know. I mean, I could try my best to set it up perfectly for this aircraft. I don't think it's gonna improve. Tally ho, hey Froggy. G'day, old core marine. Welcome. So I just did a flight, a real quick one there, and I managed to land back at base. Almost got shot down by a yak. And the mistake was I was just cruising along halfway up to these clouds, so I didn't really have any kind of advantage at all over the enemy. I need to be higher. I need to be higher than the clouds. I need to be at least 3,000 meters. Otherwise, bad things. Seems like this is Wings of Liberty. Seems like we've got a bunch of players in here, some of them pretty new, I think. not at this airfield, but probably about 20 minutes ago I was at an airfield and there were a ton of planes there. I was at an Axis airfield and there was ground loops galore. There was a plane stalled out in the middle of the runway, so none of the heavy bombers could use the runway. There was a 110 that ground looped and crashed into an 88 AAA, and there was a ground personnel running for his life, and lots of engines starting and planes taking off and planes skidding off and crashing out and you name it. And lots of friendly fire. So I saw a Bf109 chasing a 190 and shooting at him for about 2 minutes. And the funny thing is, I don't think the 190 realised that he was being chased by a 109. Anyways, right, let's get high. Let's get above these clouds. That is the only really decent place that the 109 can operate from, in my experience. Only downside to it is that it's a bit harder to spot targets. But the 109 seems to get a... Basically, if I can generalise, the Axis aircraft seem to perform well at high altitude, around 15,000 feet. The Soviet aircraft seem to perform well on the deck. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the LA-5 is faster on the deck than the Bf109. But, of course, the Bf109 is faster than the LA-5 above, I don't know, 3,000 to 5,000 feet. So there you go. I was doing terribly before, just today. But I was on the deck. So if I can stay high, maybe that'll fix things. Skids, you reckon I don't look behind me enough, okay? Wish I could see my lights on the wing. Okay, good, they're off. My altitude. 4,100, that's not too bad at all. Alright, I'm going to level off here for better or worse. One flight only. Check the map. Alright, so we're almost over the front line. Is this high enough? 4,000 meters. I reckon 4,500 meters. I reckon this is high enough. I'm not too sure. I don't know if it's got one or not. I assume the LA's got a turbo or something like it, but maybe it's geared towards lower altitudes or some kind of difference like that. In fact, I was at an air show a couple of years ago, and for what it's worth, the announcer on the PA said they were flying an aircraft like an LA-5. I think I don't really know. I think it was an LA-7 or something like that. It looked like an LA-5 FN, and I saw this thing actually flying. And the announcer said something along the lines of the Luftwaffe had orders not to dogfight this plane below a certain altitude, and now I can see why. Its highest performance is on the deck, whereas, of course, as we've discussed, the 109 seems to be a lot better higher up. Yeah, definitely having this challenge with the tracker. Not to worry, I'll stop complaining about it. Harry says, yes, a supercharger, but it was small, so not much of a boost. Okay, that probably explains that then. I believe they just took an LA3, a Lavochkin LA3, chopped the inline engine off. I think I can see flak down there. Chopped the engine off and replaced it with a radial engine and made an LA5. So same plane, different engine. That's my understanding anyway. Pretty simplistic. There's a plane. What is that? I'm at economy cruise. What should I do? I think I'll just really kind of try and suss out what's going on. Bide my time a little bit. Maybe I'll dive down. How does this plane handle? I've got elevator trim. What's that? Having a hard time seeing what plane is what. What would you call that? What would you call that? I'd call that a yak or something. Hello? Hello? Oh shit, the track IR's gone. Jesus Christ. I can't even see with this track IR like this. Oh well, I got him nonetheless. That was lucky. You see how frustrating that'd be? Just as I'm about to pull the trigger and the track IR totally spazzes out, goes full retard. Mein Gott. Oh well, it's a kill, huh? Okay, so that was an LA5. That's the plane I was just talking about. Serendipitously, is that the word? I believe that's the first time in my life I've used that word, but I don't know. Alright, good. Let's go higher. So I think I'm using this plane correctly now, huh? It just seems to be falling into place. Not to say that I'm omnipotent and I can't get shot down at this altitude. There he goes, spiraling down with his smoke trail. Victim of the fog of war. I don't know if that actually finished him off, but I'm not going to go down. I'll just let him do his thing. I hit him with a few cannons, so... This is the G6. It has essentially some 50 calibers, I think 2 50 calibers and a 20mm. So it has a bit more punch to it than the F4, the F2, G4, G2, which have a 20mm, but they only have rifle caliber MGs, not the 50 cal, which is I believe 13.1mm, whereas 50 cal is 12.7mm. So it's slightly bigger slug than a 50 cal, so this really does have some punch to it. I think that's the LA5, and he seems to be climbing up at me, unless that's another one. That could be a yak or something, and someone's on his tail. Someone's shooting at him. Haha! Take that! Assuming that that was an ally chasing me, getting shot down by an Axis. What if it's not? What if it's the reverse of that? Let's just go down and suss out what that plane is. I've lost him. I better pull up. Really easy to lose what you're staring right at. It's a tough thing to come to grips with. Good, damn lucky. Pow. Blew pieces off. Yeah, I'd say that's a kill. If not, he ain't happy. If he's in there, he ain't happy. Alright, I better just gain altitude again. Getting up towards 6, I think, that's plenty. There's something going on down here. There's a plane going down, and is that... What is that? What is that? again. He's right there somewhere, but I've lost him. I got him, there he is. Don't even know what he is yet. Try and keep the track IR stable. What is he? Looks like maybe a yak. What is he? What is he? I'm not going to shoot unless I know what he is. Could be a yak, I think. Yeah. Up I go. Good, I didn't follow him. That's the main thing. That is the main thing. Going through 3,600 metres. I get hits on him. I don't know. There's 4,000 metres. I'm going to keep going a little bit higher. I think I'm slowly realising just the extent that there is a right way and a wrong way to use this plane. Like markedly. Thing is, that was an opportunity to take out that yak, and I didn't. At least I don't think I did. That's where accuracy of gunnery comes in. And it's tempting to just keep following them down to the deck when you miss or when you want to finish them off, but you mustn't. So, according to this, I'm actually over enemy territory. For some reason I was thinking that I was over Axis lines, but no. What have we got down here? Nothing so far. And you following the correct doctrine, using this aircraft tactically correctly, and on the Eastern Front I can see how pilots like Hartmann just managed to rack up massive tallies. But woe betide he who starts turn fighting on the deck. Usually this peninsula right here has a lot of action. Right where at 0913, where the rear something or other, in the centre of this peninsula, essentially you get IL-2s coming in, maybe the equivalent Axis like Stukas, and a lot of fighters. Oh well, I've survived this far. Haven't technically been shot down yet, although the first flight of these two was a very short flight and managed to land back at base, but man, it was touch and go. Then again, I got jumped when I was halfway up to the clouds. The freezing conditions have a lot to do with aerial warfare in World War II, says Skids. Yeah, totally. All these kinds of human factors in physiology. Even just sitting in a plane like this is torture if you think about it. Like the amount of noise that you're exposed to for a prolonged period of time, the motion of the aircraft, all these kinds of things. Human body not really designed for it, and that's just the base level of discomfort. There's an aircraft. What do we got? It's probably an Axis. Let's get a bit closer. Keeping altitude. It's got a jet trail on him. That could be an LA-5. I don't know. Let's check this out. When I say he's got a jet trail, I mean he's going full power. That's a sign of going full power. It could be an FW. Probably an FW. Seems to roll very well. I think that's an FW. He's inverted. He's descending. What's he up to? Has he seen something? Is he escaping from me? Seems to be, I don't know, is he shooting or is he in distress or something? The FW does have quite a bit of wing area actually. I've noticed it has a very thick cord to the wings. It's got thick wings. It's going lower and lower. Maybe he's a ground attacker. I don't want to get complacent, but it's actually relatively serene at this altitude. You're kind of above everything. There's an aircraft down there, heading east, but still, let's check it out. Don't know if I can see him accurately from this altitude. What do you reckon that is? What could that be? Where's it gone? Couple of aircraft. Surely one of them's got a bigger aircraft there, and a smaller one. And there's another one that's just materialised out of nowhere. I'm going to sort of keep it at idle and just there's a bit of fighting. Cruise on down. Going to have some heavy climbing to do when I come up again. Speed's at 500. And there's a bomber that's just gone down, I think. I don't know what I'm looking at. I think that's a Ju-88 that just got jumped by a yak, two yak, maybe. And he's gone off there. He's probably turning around. I'm getting too fast here. There he is there. What to do? I'm going way too fast, that's the problem. And I'm going to say a 109. That yak's in trouble. Sort of in the danger zone here. I haven't picked out a target yet. I could take that yak, I guess, if I can see him. I don't think I can see him. Where the heck is he? Definitely in the danger zone here. That water is like a depth perception issue. There he is. Man, he's miles away. Track AR, don't let me down now. Confirmed. I think his propeller's stuffed anyway. Right, very cold. And if you happen to get into the stratosphere, it's a uniform temperature of negative 56 degrees centigrade. So how about that, eh? You know what that is? That's cold. How high is the stratosphere? What is that, about 30, 35, 37,000 feet or something? I don't know. Speaking of high, how high are we? 2,300. It's not quite enough yet. I didn't by any means sink that fighter that I put some shells into, but that's kind of not the aim of the game today. Egotistically, I just want to stay down there and blast the crap out of it, chop its wings off, and hear the lamentation of its women, as Genghis Khan would say. But actually, that's not the aim of the game for today. Aim of the game is to survive. Must survive and get some basically to use the correct technique that this aeroplane is intended for. That's basically the aim of the game. And I think the byproduct of that is you get some kills and you survive, and you probably have a productive learning session. Thing with the bullets that this thing fires, they're pretty hefty. So even not including the cannon, the slugs are very they cause a lot of destruction to whatever they hit. So what are we at? 4,000 something, 4,800. That'll probably do it, I think. Maybe just a little bit higher. I reckon there were 2 yaks down there, and it was very hard to see what was going on. Everyone's asking basic rookie questions about things, Navalites, etc. And getting 2 different answers. Alright, okay, so we are at, what are we at? We've just gone 4 actually, we're at 4,200 now. No sooner if we've gone up, we'll probably be going down again. Try and keep this plane. How much fuel have we got? 250 litres, that's plenty. Try and keep this plane at the minimum power setting to stay aloft when I can remember to. And ammo, of course, is something else to consider. This is a hefty late war plane. This is Kuban in 1943. This plane actually carries a lot of ammo. I'm trying to remember what the figures are. This is going to be wrong, but I think it's 450 cals and 220 millimeters, something like that. Or 650 cals and 320 millimeters. It's got a lot anyway. I used up a fair bit on that LA5, but not too much. Didn't use up hardly anything on that fighter that was on the deck. Let's put it into auto cruise and consult the map. Might head out to the ships, I think. So I'm well and truly behind enemy lines here. and a sip of coffee. It definitely makes a difference being at this altitude. I haven't seen too much going on up here. Well, I mean, I did see that 190. That's about it. Let's start rolling in and see what we got. There's a plane there. What would you say that is, just at a glance? If you had to guess, I'd say it's a yak. He's on the deck. He's probably 10 kilometers below me, and he's just crashed into the surf. Lucky I didn't dive on him. Did he do that? He must have had a conflict over at the ships. That's what I'm guessing. It seemed that he was fleeing the area of the ships, and he crashed into the sea. Black Sea Fleet's landing ship. Alright. I have on numerous occasions crashed into the sea, just because when you're flying along 10 metres above the sea, sometimes it looks the same as when you're, I don't know, 100 metres above the sea, because you don't have any kind of size landmarks to go by. And when you're focusing on something else, it can happen. The cloud shadows might help a little bit, but not really, because they can be any size. Where are those ships? Technically, they should be right below me. Yeah. I ain't seen nothing. Expecting to see the Spanish Armada, and I'm seeing nothing. What is that? I assume that's one of the ships, but it looks like a plane. It has the kind of grey-white kind of colour of an Allied aircraft. Let's check it out. I reckon that's a yak. Let's get a bit closer. Might have to use the trim tabs on this one. Good luck, bloody hell, I've got to try and pull out of a dive in this condition. And he's completely disappeared. Completely disappeared. Where are you? Oh, this is crazy. Totally crazy. If I kept on diving, I would have just gone straight into the water. I'm very low now. Been bewildered. I am bewildered. I don't know where he is. That's crazy, huh? You dive on them and they just disappear into nowhere. I think I can see him. No. I can see him. There he is. I'm not taking my eyes off him. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Has he crashed out as well? What am I even looking at? What is that? That's the ships. Okay, that's the ships. That means they'll have flak. I better... Okay. Okay, so that's the ships. Look where they are. They're not even where they're supposed to be. And there they are as well. Too crazy, too crazy. Alright, I learned something. The ships move. Alright, at least I know where the ships are. They'll have some mean flak on them. It's another thing to consider. Trying to fight around those is like the same as trying to fight around an airfield. I'm really looking forward to when the draw distance gets increased to 100 kilometres, because right now at 10 kilometres it's just not enough. You need to, sometimes you're staring as it were right at an object, but it's not drawn yet, so you're oblivious to it. Quite a few times I've just been looking in the distance and then something's come in, an aircraft pops into vision because it's reached the 10 kilometre threshold. So I think it's fantastic that they're increasing that. A little bit too close to those ships. Someone's asked for the position of the Black Fleet. I better try and find out what it is and tell them. Someone said it gets closer to the shore. That explains that. The position that's marked on the map is the starting position, and then it moves in towards the shore from there because it's a landing armada, flotilla, fleet, whatever. I'm not so up to speed on nautical terminology, but basically it's like a D-Day kind of situation. You've got motherships, again, for want of better terminology, berthing, I guess, semi-amphibious landing craft that are going to hit the beach and drop off a bunch of troops on the beach. Altitude going on towards 4,000, a little bit low yet. So I'm climbing in economy cruise, but I can do that. And what's that? That's one of the ships. Tell you what, guys, there is a lot to know about all of this stuff, particularly with multiplayer that doesn't really apply to single player. And I'm not going to compare the two because they're both good and they're both different, but one thing is in multiplayer you're playing against humans and it sort of taxes you a lot more. You've got to kind of dig deep and challenges you to get better in every single area, from tactics to ergonomics and everything really. operation of radiators and things like that. Propeller RPM, manifold pressure, all of this stuff, you've really got to get up to speed with it for multiplayer. And just that fundamental thing that Luftwaffe planes seem to do better at higher altitude, whereas Soviet planes have the advantage on the deck, generally speaking. There's some planes. That looks like a yak. I'm going to get it. Just like that. Just like that. 2 planes down there. But if maybe this, if I stay focused on the plane, if I keep the plane in my crosshairs, then I won't hit the deck, and I'll have the plane as a reference. Gee, what's going on? I'm going to get shot up if I go through there. Might need to increase speed. Which one should I go for? What is going on here? I'm going to get hit by flak if I don't watch out. Let's stick with that plane. Maybe keep it at idle. Maybe increase power. Keep it at idle, I think. Losing him. No, there he is. He's a yak for sure. I better increase power maybe. I don't know, it's tempting. Very easy to lose him. I'll go increase power now, I think. No, I'll go idle. Now. Alright, I got hits. Now I'm going to get out of here and stop this volley and start boom and zooming again. Damn, he's on my tail. This could be a problem. In theory, I'm faster than him. I'm going at full power. I was already at full power for 100 seconds. And that's bad. That's really bad. Might have to head for home, I think. And start a gentle climb soon. Yeah, he's braking it. Good. Alright, I'm going to do a dog leg out to sea. Oh shit, he's still on me. Right, turn back, go west. And then get out of here. Full power for another 30 seconds. Getting shot at. engine's failing. Used emergency power for too long. It's like being caught between a rock and a hard place. How do you get away? But at the same time, if you don't go full power, you might not get away. Well, I could probably swim. I don't think there's any sharks down here. Just have to avoid the invasion fleet, that's all. I was looking forward to making it back to base. I just pushed it a little bit too much with the emergency. I ran it for 100. You can run it for about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, some people say. And I think I ran it in total for about 3.5 minutes. Should I bail out? No, I'm too low. Nothing to do. Don't worry, I can swim. I'm a good swimmer. That night camouflage is probably pretty effective. Right, so 2 planes, 1 assist. Wow, that's not bad. 2 planes, 1 assist. Yeah, right. It's interesting because you get some hits on a plane and then you zoom and you take off and you don't know what the outcome's going to be. And 2 planes, 1 assist. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. That was a pretty successful prototype flight plan, and I'm gonna use that again. Alright, so it seems I'm recapping the flight by looking at the comments. So I got that LA5, blew it to Kingdom Come. Don't think I got anything before that. I didn't get shot by the ships actually. Alright, so then I discovered the ships, and then I chased 2 yaks into the ships, and then we realised that some Axis planes were bombing the ships, and the yaks were chasing them, and I was chasing the yaks, and then I came in on that yak at idle, and did I get him? I did get hits on him. And then I decided to disengage. I must have hit a yak before all of this as well. So anyways, 2 planes, 1 assist. Alright guys, that's the flight. Wow, what an adventure. I'll definitely be reviewing this flight and trying to glean more lessons to learn from it. There's always good lessons to learn from going back over the flight and looking at the kills, particularly looking at the missed opportunities. Yeah, I don't know the extent to what you can learn from each missed opportunity, but there's something in each one. Usually about, I don't know, just a multitude of different factors, from how you set up the approach, how fast you're going, what your engine settings are at, how much ammo you've got left, what your altitude is, and I think one of the most important things, identify the plane that you're targeting. Is it friend or foe? And then, okay, so it's a foe, what plane is it? Because as soon as you see what plane it is, then you can tell what characteristics it has. And an LA5 is going to have different characteristics to a yak. An LAGG is going to, a lag is going to have different characteristics again. And that's going to determine how you approach it, given the plane that you're flying and all these kinds of things. It's a complex situation. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. Thanks very much for joining me on this adventure. All of the obligatory stuff, smash. It's not obligatory, but the stuff I'm always going to say at the end of every video: smash the like button, subscribe if you want to get notifications of these live streams. Join the channel. There's a join button on the screen in front of you, and you can support the channel by joining the channel or on Patreon as well. Also, visit my website. It's froggyfrog9000.com. I've just written an article there on the excellent movie from 1992 called Porco Rosso. It's about air combat. Check that out at froggyfrog9000.com. This is the Froggy Frog 9000 channel. I'll most probably be back tomorrow for another live stream. Again, thanks for joining me on this adventure, and till next time, bye for now.